In a world where reality and gaming have fused, gnarly beasts roam wild, and countless mysterious realms and dungeons await. To survive this chaos, everyone's got to switch up their jobs and level up fast. On the day of his job change, Lu Fan lands the hidden class, Dragon Tamer. But Dragon Tamer is dubbed the most useless class in this world. But with his massive dragon by his side, Lu Fan crushes everything in his path, making the whole world shake in fear. This world is where the elements of virtual gaming have infused together with reality. Many different professions have evolved, and people are allowed to change their professions to gain more powerful abilities. In this world, there are countless ruins and dungeons, a lot of mysterious realms along monsters. By killing these monsters, individuals can acquire experience points, materials, and even equipment to strengthen themselves even more. But no matter how fearsome a monster is, they will always be looked down on by the mysterious yet rare, powerful deity, dragons. Meanwhile, at the Dragon Academy, the professor explains to the students that today's professional awakening ceremony will not only determine their test results, but will also paint their future. The professor adds that the awakening randomly determines the profession, but he asks everyone to have faith in themselves and believes that if they have enough confidence, then they might all be able to awaken combative professions. There are many kinds of combative professions in this world, which can be categorized into 3 types. The top ones are combative professionals such as warriors, mages, archers, and so on. The second type is the reinforcing professionals such as enchanters, alchemists, and so on. Lastly, at the bottom of the pyramid are subsistence professions which include chefs, herbalists, miners, etc. Our protagonist's aunt, Hanku, is also a chef by profession. She works hard to pay for his studies and is only 8 years older than him. To help his aunt out by lessening her burden, our protagonist is hoping to awaken a combative profession. Soon, the professor receives the news that the awakening platform has been built, and soon the ceremony is about to commence. The students then get up excitedly and begin to leave for the ceremony. Meanwhile, the protagonist, Lu Fan, is sitting, lost in his thoughts. Turns out he is not actually lost in thoughts, but rather surprised by a notification from the system. The system notifies Lu Fan that the Super Treasure Map system has been activated. Soon, Lu Fan wakes up to his professor asking him if he can listen to him. Lu Fan then leaves instantly to attend the ceremony. Along the way, Lu Fan is wondering about the system that just got activated, but he decides to keep these thoughts for later since attending the professional ceremony is more important. Thereupon, he sees the awakening crystal and is visibly nervous. Soon, the announcer announces that the ceremony is about to begin and reveals the priest who will be hosting it. Meanwhile, Lu Fan stands there, thinking how combative powers are so cool since he can feel the aura of the priest exerting all over the place. Thereafter, he receives a notification and finds out that he has acquired Eye of Appraisal, a new ability. Lu Fan then tests it out and discovers that the priest's net worth is 5 million dragon coins. This is so much that even if Hanku worked all her life in her bun shop, she wouldn't even come close to this amount. The announcer then asks everyone whose name will be called out to come on the stage. The first name to be called out is Zhang Tao. The crowd is aware of the prowess of Zhang and appears drooling over him. Zhang then goes through his awakening and ends up obtaining a combative profession. In other words, he manages to awaken as a pyromancer. This marks the day when Zhang's future will prove to be fruitful due to his combative profession. The ceremony then continues, and the students are managing to acquire subsistence professions only. It appears that acquiring a combative profession is not something common, as it signifies unlimited possibilities for the future. Li Ping, a girl, ends up obtaining a reinforcing profession that requires a lot of money to nurture, and now Lu Fan is afraid to awaken as a reinforcer as well since his family is not rich either. It is now time for Lu Fan to awaken his profession as he is called on the stage. Immediately, after activating his reawakening, the atmosphere changes color to a darker shade, and a huge gets summoned due to Lu Fan's awakening. Meanwhile, Professor Li believes that if Lu Fan awakens as the strongest hidden professional, such as Dragon Blood Warrior or Dova Tinvok Mage, then he can become the new powerhouse in the Dragon Kingdom and make history. The announcer then immediately asks Lu Fan which profession he received, leading him to reveal that he is a dragon tamer. Unluckily, Lu Fan has managed to acquire the most useless profession even after awakening a hidden profession. After the awakening ceremony, in the old town of Zhanghai City, Lu Fan activates the status window to check up on his stats so far. Lu Fan sees Dragon Tamer can recall people feeling disappointed after he awakened his hidden profession. At first, they were all excited to see which powerful profession Lu Fan would end up getting, but they did not expect him to get the worst one of them. It appears that Dragon Tamer is a powerful profession, but what makes it completely useless is that it is quite difficult for a Dragon Tamer to find a dragon to tame. Without a Dragon Tamer is nothing but useless. Although they can tame sub-dragons or other species like dragons, they are all just normal beasts and don't even come close to the same level as a dragon. Lu Fan is disheartened to realize that he cannot even unlock any skills anymore, such as the disadvantage of being a dragon tamer. He then recalls life for his aunt already being very difficult, and now he cannot help her in any way whatsoever. That's just something constantly bothering Lu Fan. He then makes his way home and announces his arrival to Han Kuo. She immediately rushes to hug Fan as he is excited to see him back home. Han then questions Fan about the profession that he awakened and can see the visible disappointment on his face. Han explains to Fan that it's okay if he does not awaken a combative profession, stating that she would be worried for him anyway that he is fighting every day. However, Fan reveals that he managed to acquire a hidden profession of Dragon Tamer, but also explains that it's of no use since there are no dragons to tame. Han boosts Fan's confidence by telling him that this just means that he is strong. Moreover, she assures him that she will support his studies until the end of her life. Later that night, Fan is once again disappointed that he is not able to support his aunt, but wants to live a happy life with her. Thereupon, the system notification appears out of nowhere, revealing information about the divine-level treasure map. Lu Fan then remembers about the treasure maps as he had forgotten to activate them earlier in the classroom. He remembers that he has only tried its appraisal function so far and hasn't yet explored its core treasure map feature. Moreover, we discover that there are 4 categories of treasure maps: beginner, intermediate, advanced, and divine level. Fan is aware that he can combine 3 identical low-level treasure maps into one high-level treasure map. Furthermore, Fan believes that as long as he can make good use of this system, he can actually put his Dragon Tamer skill to use. To put it simply, this divine-level treasure map might become the source of Fan being able to break all the shackles of people believing that Dragon Tamers are useless. Not only that, it might also enable Fan to live with his aunt for the rest of his life. Fan is aware that if he gives up now, then he will be left at the bottom of society, something that no one would want to happen. Fan then sees that the treasure is located on MT Sure Basin, a place that's not too far away from Jianghai City. He then decides to reach there early in the morning by taking the last suburban bus. The following day, Han Kuo wakes up and moves in the hallway. There, she sees a note lying on the table. She then looks over at Fan's bed, and it is empty. In the note, Han reads that Fan has left for MT Sure Basin to pursue the divine-level treasure and asks his aunt not to worry about him. Fan believes that this might be his only chance to change the fate of a dragon tamer. Fan assures Han that they will have a good life and mentions that he will return soon. Meanwhile, Fan is walking up the mountain and appears to be followed by a few people. One of them grabs Fan by the shoulder and asks him if he wants to go together, to which Fan refuses. However, when Fan turns around, he realizes that these guys are dungeon robbers and believes that they must have been stealing for quite a while. The lady from the group then takes out the knife, leaving Fan to realize that they have figured it out that he knows they are the robbers. The lead robber offers Fan to come with them, but he refuses yet again. They then try to explain to Fan that he doesn't understand the rules of the wilderness and that he won't be safe alone in the open wild. But Fan tells them that he is a summoner and that he can summon anything for his protection if it comes to that. The robbers then agree to stop insisting and soon begin to leave. Before leaving, the lady robber tells Fan that they're going to meet again. Lu Fan then takes a sigh of relief and tells himself that it is better to go alone in the wilderness rather than with the backstabbing robbers. He then quietly begins to make his way through the dense forest. Lurking in the bushes, Fan sees a powerhorn horse with level 8. Although these horses don't actively attack humans for no reason, when they are disturbed, they don't shy away from showing the humans who are the more powerful ones. Lu Fan then decides to take a detour, but still doesn't feel safe as many creatures are roaming around in the forest. He even comes across level 7 giant horn antelope and begins to make his way from between them. At first, nothing major seems to happen, but all of a sudden, he seems to disturb their peace, and the antelopes begin chasing Fan. After running for a long distance, Fan manages to lose the antelopes and gets thrown on the ground. The system then notifies Fan that he has reached the treasure's destination. Lu Fan then searches around a bit and ends up discovering a dragon egg. Moreover, the egg already seems to be hatching when suddenly a bloodthirsty gray fox approaches Fan and begins attacking him. Fan tries his best to hold off the fox, but soon discovers that the fox can recover himself in an instant and appears to have a special attack move called Triple Claw Strike. Fan then thinks that he can stall the fox until the dragon egg hatches. Then he can tame the dragon, prompting it to deal with the fox, but he quickly diminishes this idea as he realizes that it would take too long. So, Fan decides to take the fox head-on and kill it right there. Finding the perfect opportunity, he manages to stab the fox to death using his dagger. Unexpectedly, the same group of robbers arrive, appreciating Fan for his ability to fight well. They then call Fan out for lying to them and remind him when he tells them that he is a summoner. However, they did not see him summoning anything when he was in trouble. Realizing that he has been burnt, Fan tosses the fox's corpse and tells them that they can have the fox's skin if they want. However, the robbers already seem to have their eyes on something. Soon they proceed to hold Fan down, and the lead robber goes over and picks up the dragon EFF not knowing what it is. They just know that it is a piece of treasure, and that's why they're trying to get their hands on it. However, the egg soon hatches and the dragon emerges out of it. The dragon then proceeds to attack the lead robber, injuring him severely, and then goes on to deal with the other robber. Lu Fan then proceeds to use the dragon taming technique and successfully tames the dragon, revealing to the lady robber that he is a dragon tamer. Meanwhile, the lady robber is lying down on the ground, pleading for mercy. She tells Fan that she didn't know that it was a dragon egg. With that, Fan manages to deal with the group of robbers quite efficiently. He is then taking a moment of relief, sitting idly, trying to recover himself. The dragon then playfully approaches Fan, and he proceeds to lift it like a baby. Fan notices that the dragon is so powerful just after hatching and believes that it will cross limits once it grows up. Lu Fan is then thinking of names to give to his dragon but can't settle on any. Suddenly, the dragon begins to exert a red aura all around it. A huge burst of energy leads to Fan dropping the dragon, and it ends up transforming into a girl, leaving Fan wondering what is going on. Fan realizes that the dragon he summoned can also take the shape of a human. He then proceeds to check his stats and discovers that he gained some new skills while he was summoning the dragon. Dragon's Inspiration, Dragon Fang Strike, and Black Dragon Hatchling are the skills Fan has unlocked. He then proceeds to check out the stats for the dragon and discovers that she is quite powerful at just the first level. However, this does not surprise Fan too much since that's what's expected of the only 3 hidden professions. No matter how powerful the profession is, if the opponent has a profession that's related to dragons, then they're the one always winning, such as the stature of this profession. Moreover, Fan sees that the dragon is in the human form, but she is still acting like a dragon nonetheless. He then thinks about what to call her and settles down on calling her Xiao Yi. Hearing this makes Xiao excited. Fan then questions her if she is hungry and discovers that she is, so he decides to go on a monster hunter to fill Xiao's belly. Turns out that the trial determines whether one can go to the university or not. Thus, Fan wants to hone his skills as soon as possible, as he is aware that there are going to be many others who will compete. He then decides to go into the depths of Empty Sure Basin, as there are monsters that taste heavenly. As they are making their way, a pack of plains hyenas begins to chase them. Lu Fan quickly notices and realizes that these hyenas are tougher and more powerful than the gray fox that he encountered early, and it took Fan some serious injuries to deal with it. However, the situation is different now, and Fan is not alone as he has his dragon, Xiao Yi, with him. Without even telling her anything, Xiao quickly flies off in the air, proceeds to use Laval Flame, and ends up burning all the hyenas alive. With this, Fan and Xiao both receive a huge amount of XP. Xiao eventually ends up leveling up to 3, whereas Han only manages to level up to 1. Lu Fan then suggests that they don't waste their time on small creatures and head for the big ones in the area. From the darkness, a 3-headed blood lion emerges. The look of this creature can easily scare off anyone who believes that they can take on such creatures. Moreover, this 3-headed beast is of level 25 and is an elite boss. Typically, a small team of monsters is required just to approach these types of monsters, but Fan has decided to go alone just with the support of Xiao. The lion then lets go of a roar, leading its attack and defense power to increase significantly. The lion then proceeds to put its skill of Triple Flame to charging, but Fan quickly decides to interrupt its skill and asks Xiao to help him carry it out. He also realizes that he must do something smart to take care of this beast, and so Xiao ends up using Mighty Jaw Assault. This technique plays out in a way that she will rapidly charge toward the lion and bite it, leading to continuous bleeding damage to the lion. With that, Fan and Xiao successfully manage to interrupt the lion's triple flame skill. Lu Fan then uses Dragon Fang Strike to mobilize Dragon Aura and unleash a powerful strike with the dagger he has in his possession. With this blow, the three-headed blood lion ends up dying. Now, for the most important part, Fan is excited since the elite beasts provide the highest level of XP. He ends up receiving enough XP for him to level up to 14, whereas Xiao ends up leveling up to 9. Thereafter, the system notifies Fan of the next location for the treasure, leaving him excited to discover what he is going to get his hands on next. He then decides to go treasure hunt with Xiao. Meanwhile, in the depths of MT Sure Basin, a group of Awakeners are discussing whether to go into the realm or not. This realm is known as Fortuitous Realm, and it requires at least 5 people to activate it. Sun Ge suggests sending Miss Kai back to Zhanghai City to bring back more people. However, Miss Kai explains that it won't work since it will take her a day almost for the round trip. Thereupon, Qin Ke, another Awakener with an unknown combat profession, explains that these types of realms are only open for 24 hours. Sun Ge tells Qin that she can easily be showered with opportunities if she can get herself into one of the top 10 academies using her immense level of strength. As they continue their conversation, Sun Ge quickly comes to a stop as soon as he sees someone walking up to them. It turns out to be none other than Fan, who asks not to be nervous, stating that he is just passing by. Qin Ke then comes forward and tells Fan that they are from the Qin family and asks him to temporarily team up with them. She explains to Fan that he won't have to do anything other than enter the realm with them. Moreover, she offers to pay 100,000 dragon coins to Fan after they succeed in the realm. Hearing this, Fan realizes that this realm is something extraordinary since they are willing to pay him a huge amount just to enter with them. He realizes that these opportunities are very rare to come by and one needs to avail them. Qin confirms that they just need to gather enough people to meet the requirements of the realm and that he won't have to do anything to get 100,000 dragon coins. The realm then soon opens and Sun Ge suggests that they go inside. However, Fan has something on his mind. He explains that he is not really interested in money, but what interests him more is the deal where they can cooperate according to the rules. This makes them realize that Fan wants to allocate the rewards in the secret realm based on performance. Qin then begins thinking that their level is around 20, which is why they are pretty confident that they don't need anyone else to fight with them in the dungeon. However, she cannot understand whether Fan is confident in his skills, or if he is just some arrogant guy. But since he wants to cooperate, Qin agrees to team up with Fan in a cooperative manner and to show sincerity in their newly built relationship. Qin even decides to let the 100,000 dragon coins be included in the deal. They then decide to leave. Meanwhile, Fan believes that revealing Zhao's identity in front of them will be too risky, so he decides that he will keep her hidden unless there is an immediate need for her assistance. Sun Ge then asks Fan if he has any equipment to defend himself with, and he proceeds to reveal his inked dragon deer antler sword. Seeing the sword, Sun Ge is impressed as he initially thought that Fan was some stupid arrogant guy. As they are walking in the dungeon, a group of decaying zombies appear out of nowhere and begin attacking the group. However, Sun Ge and Xiao Jia efficiently manage to subdue them. Fan sees that this group is well managed and they coordinate with each other pretty well. However, Qin's ability of Holy Light Star Rain catches Fan's attention. Turns out that with this hidden class, a Holy Light Mage can perform both attacks and healing, but Fan notices that Qin's ability is very effective against the zombies. As they are making too much sound, an elite monster becomes alert. Fan judges the sound and realizes a few monsters are coming their way. Soon, Sun Ge becomes aware of this as well and immediately asks Kai to protect Fan and Qin, and the two, Sun Ge and Xiao Jia, go ahead and take on the formidable monsters. However, as soon as Xiao Jia strikes the monster, he is unable to draw out his weapon. Turns out that these ferocious monsters have the ability to inflict the attacker with poison that can only be healed by a priest. Not only that, the same ability also begins to heal the monster of any injuries. In the scenario, even Qin cannot help Xiao Jia, who then begins yelling for help. Sun Ge immediately asks CIA to cover him from the zombies, but Fan approaches forward, tells Sun Ge not to disturb Kai, and assures him that he will handle this. As the ferocious zombie begins making its way toward Fan, Sun Ge asks him to stop being stupid and get out of the way. Thereafter, Fan proceeds to take everyone by surprise by killing the zombie in just one blow using his sword. Lu Fan then tells them not to back down and explains that they have to keep moving forward. Meanwhile, Sun Gu stands there with his eyes wide open. He questions Fan about his level. In response, Fan reveals that he's a level 14 student and mentions that there is no need for him to lie about that. He further explains that he came here for great exam practice, which makes Qin realize that he is her class fellow, but also notes that a level 14 student has more power than Sun Gu, who is level 28. All of a sudden, another zombie begins charging toward the group, but gets spotted by Kai, who pushes Qin away. However, Fan ends up taking the stage and eliminates this zombie by striking his sword in the middle of its chest. Thereafter, Fan explains that the zombies are going to get higher and higher in terms of level, and suggests that he takes care of the front row. Meanwhile, the group is wondering if Fan is the guy from Zhanghai City about whom so many rumors are going around. Qin agrees with Fan's idea and mentions that he and Sun Gu will be taking care of the front row. Qin herself has decided to take care of Xiao Jia, and Kai has been assigned to cover the team from behind. Moreover, Qin believes that the Mystic Realm Guardian should be in the village. Lu Fan then reveals his identity and asks the group to go deeper. It is now confirmed to Qin and company that Fan is indeed the rumored hidden class dragon tamer that appeared just recently. However, Qin is still confused as a dragon tamer shouldn't be the weakest class. Along the way to the Mystic Realm village center, Fan ends up defeating numerous amount of zombies. It is now clear to them that Qin cannot cure Xiao Jia's poison effect and that the only solution lies in Mystic Realm Guardian. But they have to hurry since they have already wasted so much time, and Jia might even end up turning into a zombie if not cured. However, they look around and find no trace of Realm Guardian anywhere near. There is a huge pile of debris right in front of them, but other than that, there appears to be nothing. All of a sudden, Jia notices sudden movement from behind Sun Gu and immediately warns him to look out. It turns out to be Iron Skin Zombie, who seems to have abilities of corpse poison, assimilation absorption, and steel skin. This also happens to be the Mystic Realm Guardian. Meanwhile, Fan notices that Jia's corpse poison has reached a level where it can awaken Iron Skin zombies. Fan realizes what is going to happen and immediately warns everyone to take care of the zombie as soon as possible, explaining that it might attempt to assimilate and absorb Jia. Sun Gu wastes no time in rushing toward the zombie and uses a moonlight slash to inflict damage, but all turns in vain as the zombie doesn't even get scratched. Seeing that there is not much time left, Fan himself decides to deal with the zombie. He quickly dashes toward it, activates the ability of Steel Skin in which he enters an Iron Skin state, and ends up getting an increase in his defense and attack attributes. Furthermore, he takes out his Ink Dragon Scale Sword, which also happens to have the ability of Dragon Blood Armorization, enabling Fan to partly become dragonized. Moreover, Fan also activates his skill of Assimilation Absorption, which enables him to absorb the target and merge with himself, increasing his own XP in the process. Lu Fan then asks Qin to use her holy spells with him and asks Sun Gu to protect Xiao Jia with the help of Kai. Not only that, Fan receives a bonus skill in which he can transform his arm into that of a dragon. At the same time, Qin uses Holy Starlight, dealing holy damage to enemies in the vicinity, and while also providing healing to the allies. The zombie is roaring, trying to find a way to deal with the pain. But soon the body begins to disintegrate, making Sun Gu realize that this zombie depends on continuous fusion absorption to become enormous. Lu Fan adds and mentions that it might be possible that this zombie's main body is wrapped up in it. Hearing Fan make such smart comments, Sun Gu recalls how he has seen all kinds of experts for so many years in the Qin family and realizes that Fan is definitely a hidden professional. Meanwhile, the zombie completes his transformation into its real body. Realizing that the main body has appeared, Han quickly charges toward the zombie with his dragonized arm and proceeds to perform a brutal blow, intending to end this fiasco. As soon as the punch lands on the zombie, it lets go of a painful screech. With that, the Guardian of the Hidden Realm has been defeated. However, Qin and company are totally left shocked as they have never seen such a skillful person before. To defeat W level 20 monster with such ease is nothing less than extraordinary. Due to his mysterious aura, Qin curiously questions Fan as to whom exactly he is. Thereafter, an iron-skinned zombie treasure chest of level 20 appears out of nowhere. Immediately, Qin reminds Fan of their deal and tells him to abide by the agreement and distribute according to the rules. Furthermore, she apologizes to Fan for their earlier behavior with him. Qin explains that they had no way to know what he was capable of, which is why they acted in such an abrupt behavior. Sun Ge jumps in as well and tells Fan that he surely can solo this entire realm and wouldn't even need anyone's help. He also believes that instead of him tagging along with them, they seem to be the ones tagging along with Fan. Fan is at last convinced and asks Qin to distribute the rewards equally. However, when she proceeds to unlock the chest, she meets disappointment. The treasure chest only contains low-level items that are of no use instead of the antidote potion, which will enable them to cure the corpse poison from Xiaojia. Other than that, there is a strength potion and morning bracers. Sun Ge believes that this is all a bit unnerving since this realm is of level 20 and a realm of such stature can't have such bad rewards even after defeating a level 20 ferocious boss. Qin then asks Sun Ge to make Xiaojia drink the potion of cure. Moreover, she proceeds to hand over the bracers and the strength potion to Fan, stating that he deserves them all. After waiting for a bit, Qin finds it strange that the portal to go out hasn't shown up yet even after defeating the final boss. Kai suggests that they look around, but Fan warns not to wander around just yet. He then sees on the system screen that the realm is of hard difficulty. On top of that, there appear to be 3 different levels of bosses, and the Iron Skin Zombie was only the first zombie boss. The other 2 bosses to be dealt with are Fresh Blood Zombie and Corrupt Zombie. Fan then explains that the zombie they just killed isn't the final boss, and Qin confirms this by revealing that she can sense a dark presence in the realm still. They then make their way to the lakeside, prompting Qin to reveal that the zombie boss is nearby. The group becomes alert and believes that they might have missed something when they entered since this realm is not big at all. All of a sudden, a huge creature emerges from the department of the lake and appears to have numerous amount of eyes. Sun Ge comments that Fan was right and that this is the final boss, but that's not true. Sun Ge then asks them to be careful and hide behind barricades and take shelter if they can. The sea creature proceeds to attack Sun Ge and neutralizes him. Meanwhile, Qin is the only person standing close to the creature, and what was once feared ends up happening. The creature is about to seriously hurt Qin when suddenly Fan comes for her aid, picks her up in his lap, and takes her to safety. The group decides to see if Qin is okay and receives a positive response. Meanwhile, the ferocious creature continues spreading terror in the realm by spreading across its tentacles all over the area. The creature is known as a grieving specter of level 25, with good level attributes. Furthermore, the grieving specter appears to have 4 abilities. The first ability is Corpse Chi, where it can constantly emit Corpse Chi. The other abilities include Chain Lash, Resentment Outburst, and Immutable Resentment. All these skills are quite hard to tackle against, and it would be a sight to see how this encounter ends up. Kai reveals that this is the real boss, leading Sun Ge to ask Xiaojia to come behind him so he can defend him from the attacks of this ferocious monster. However, Xiaojia believes that he can block attacks as well, prompting Sun Ge to ask Xiaojia to stop being stubborn. Ultimately, Sun Ge ends up trusting Lu Fan with the attacking part, who appears to be charging toward the monster. He has only one thing on his mind: to kill this monster's main body if it stays a zombie. The monster then activates his ability where it can emit Corpse Chi constantly, reducing all the attributes of the creatures present in the realm by 20%. After dodging through various objects coming at him, Fan proceeds to jump at the monster with the sword in his hands. Qin immediately warns Fan to watch out for the iron chains. The monster appears to be using its Chain Lash ability, which enables it to whip the target with the heave chains from the lake, causing massive damage. The monster managed to Fan with the chains, causing him to stop his attack. Sun Ge immediately asks Qin to be careful while the monster begins rushing its way once again. Seeing that they have to make a move, Fan quickly advises them to charge, and ends up inflicting some pain on the monster using his sword. Moreover, Fan realizes if Qin and company are going to keep resisting like this, then the monster will only overwhelm them in every stage of the fight, and end up killing them. Using the support of the chains, Fan charges himself to dash toward the monster, asks everyone to move out of the way, and proceeds to hit the monster with this Dragon Fang strike, mobilizing Dragon Chi, which in turn unleashes a powerful strike. Meanwhile, the zombie monster continues using Chain Lash and attempts to injure Fan using the chains, but Fan appears to be holding his ground efficiently so far. He uses his Dragon Blood transformation, which gives him a special effect of the Ink Dragon Scale Sword. Moreover, it provides him with partial dragonization, increasing his dragon power in the process. Furthermore, Fan activates the Dragon Claw, enabling him to transform his arm into a dragon claw. The power balance is a bit on the center of the equilibrium now. However, Sun Ge suggests to Fan that they leave the place and retreat since the zombie monster is proving to be quite powerful. Qin also tells Fan that if he keeps on delaying, then all their lives will be in danger. Thereafter, Fan asks Sun Ge to take Kai and others back to the village as it has been stripped off of zombies. As for himself, Fan has decided to cover their backs and asks them to retreat quickly. Meanwhile, Qin realizes that they can only rely on Fan, and without him, they are completely useless. On the other hand, Fan sends them back after realizing that they are not of much use to him due to the debuff in the attributes of all the creatures. He wants someone who can coordinate with him to come help defeat this monster. So he goes on to summon Xiaoyi. All of a sudden, a roar marks the appearance of Xiaoyi. Meanwhile, the group is visibly frightened to see what's happening and sees that the creature that just got summoned is a dragon. Moreover, they contemplate if Lu Fan summoned this dragon. Meanwhile, Xiaoyi activates her skill of Giant Jaws Assault where she can rush at a high speed followed by a tearing bite, causing continuous damage to the target. With this attack, Xiaoyi rushes toward the zombie boss and ends up damaging it severely. Seeing this, Kai begins wondering if the zombie boss has been defeated. But what comes as a surprise for them is that the boss was dismembered in just a matter of seconds and find it terrifying to witness a ferocious dragon. Meanwhile, Qin wonders if Lu Fan is the rumored dragon tamer from Jianghai City. 300 years ago, a girl was born and raised in a town under the protection of a church. It was a place away from the dangers of intrusion. That is until a plague destroyed quite literally everything. Bodies began piling up by the lake, with more people dying before they could be buried. The girl who is now turned into a zombie monster wanted to save everyone desperately, but she ended up becoming a dark witch. She tried to but couldn't heal the dying patients and was only able to summon spirits to allow the living to say goodbye. The people saw the girl performing some sort of summoning and started thinking of her as a witch. They turned on her and believed that she was the one who brought the disaster to them. Moreover, they wanted her to be locked up with chains and ended up doing it. The only person who was trying everything in her power to save them. The people turned on the same person and treated her in the worst way possible, asking her unbelievable questions like why she wanted to destroy their beautiful village. It was actually this girl that helped those people say goodbye to their families, and even though she was only able to do that, she was satisfied. Meanwhile, in the present, Sun Ge is wondering how Fan can summon a dragon. He then suggests that they leave the realm now, but Fan explains that since the portal hasn't appeared, it means that the boss isn't dead yet, and mentions that it's too early for them to leave. The boss then appears once again and begins shouting why. This time, the zombie boss appears to have evolved into a better body. The boss is now known as Morning Grudge with a difficulty of Hard Nightmare level. Moreover, its level is 25, but the thing that's the most concerning is that its stats have greatly increased. The Morning Grudge tells everyone not to even think about escaping from here. Meanwhile, Xiaoyi goes ahead and activates her immunity effect of Restraint, Black Dragon Bloodline, which enables her to receive 50% reduced damage, makes her immune to all debuffs, and increases her self-recovery ability by a staggering 500%. At the same time, the Morning Grudge manages to attack Kai and proceeds to hold her by surrounding her with a water wall that seems unbreakable. Kai believes that it's over for her and apologizes to Qin for not being worthy enough to fight alongside her. However, Qin mentions that she should be the one to apologize since coming to this realm was her idea. Seeing them acting so dramatically, Fan asks them if they are going to give up this easily. This leads Qin to reveal that she is the only capable one of magical attacks, but with her damage on the current level, it appears that the boss is immune to all physical damage that is being inflicted on it. They then ask Fan if he has any means to defeat the dragon, causing him to respond negatively. But he also mentions that his dragon, Xiaoyi, can defeat the monster quite easily with no such effort. They believe that the level difference is still very big, leading Fan to reveal that the level is calculated differently for dragons and humans. As for dragons, they are quite powerful compared to humans. Meanwhile, Morning Grudge tells them that it's them who are to blame for this situation. Meanwhile, Fan prepares Xiaoyi. He activates all the available immunity effects that he has, along with all the powerful skills and abilities that he possesses. With that, Fan points toward the Morning Grudge and tells Xiaoyi to charge at it with her lava blaze. This marks the demise of the Morning Grudge, as the continuous blazing fire from Xiaoyi proves to be the deciding factor in this encounter. The lava blaze makes the area so hot that it starts getting difficult for the group to stay there. While dying, the mourning grudge ends up activating a wall of resentment, awakening all the corpses in the secret realm. With this, Xiaoyi receives an unknown amount of level up, whereas Fan gets his level increased by 5. The boss is finally dead, as the portal can be seen now. Things are all settled now, but an unsettling smoke disturbs the atmosphere. As soon as they look around, they see a horde of resurrected zombies coming toward them. To get rid of them, Xiaoyi proceeds to fly ahead and burns the zombies in no time. Qin sees that the zombies they all struggled to kill before. Xiaoyi was able to get rid of them in the blink of an eye. Lu Fan then explains that Xiaoyi is a black dragon and can get rid of these zombies like minions. He then asks Qin to stop worrying as the boss is already dead and suggests that they distribute the rewards according to the rules that they made before entering the secret realm. He asks if anyone has any objects, leading Qin to mention that they don't. The rewards that they receive from defeating the Mourning Grudge are Holy Light Staff of excellent quality, Twilight of excellent quality, a Ring of Mourning of rare quality, and a class-changing scroll of rare quality as well. Lu Fan decides to keep the class-changing scroll and offers everything else to others. However, Qin believes that Fan made much more effort for him to receive just one item as his reward. But Fan reveals that the other things are not really needed by him and explains that it would suit them much better. Still keen on insisting, Qin ends up offering the Ring of Mourning to Fan, who ends up accepting it, mentioning that he won't be acting modest. It is now time for them to leave, and Qin stands there wondering what else is there that Fan is hiding. She finds Fan to be quite mysterious and believes that he has more to him than the eye meets. For hours later in the evening, at the bun shop, Fan returns to his aunt. Hanko is absolutely emotional to have met after such a dangerous journey. Listening to his story started making Han shudder. However, Fan believes that she is acting way over the top. He asks her to let go of him as his clothes are dirty after spending days in the wild, but Hanko appears to have no problem with that. She then begins crying, reminding Fan that he left without telling her a word and that she was worried all the time, so much so that she stayed awake all night in the hopes that he would return to her. Lu Fan then apologizes to Han, stating that he regrets not telling her before going outside the city, but asks her not to worry, assuring her that he won't make her worried anymore. Han then shifts her attention to Xiaoyi and begins petting her, revealing that she was startled when she first saw her. With a roar, Xiaoyi responds to Han's endearing comments. Han believes that Fan wouldn't have eaten anything for days. But before responding to that, Fan presents the class-changing scroll that he got for her. He explains to her that if she changes to a hidden occupation, she won't have to keep guarding the bun shop anymore. However, Han does not accept it since it is too valuable and suggests that they sell it. She believes that Fan will be able to buy 2 pieces of equipment after selling the scroll, which will greatly help him in his next encounters. But Fan assures her that he doesn't have a shortage of money or equipment. He then goes ahead and shows his recent transaction and reveals that he made this much by selling the materials that he collected along the trip to Mt. Shur Basin. He then asks Han to stop worrying so much, hands her over the scroll, and asks her to use it and see what occupation she gets. After using the scroll, the result is that Han now becomes the superior hidden occupation, Enchantment Chef. Lu Fan questions about the special part of this occupation. Han explains that she can now make food with various buffs. Meanwhile, Fan believes that Han is already very talented when it comes to cooking, and this will only enhance her abilities to a greater extent. As they are speaking, Fan suddenly realizes that he cannot see Xiaoyi anywhere around and wonders where she is. Meanwhile, at the villa of the Qin family, Qin is telling her father about Fan and his heroics. She explains that it was because of her stubbornness that everyone almost lost their lives and reveals that Fan is the same as her with a hidden occupation. But she also agrees with the fact that the difference between them is like an ant and an elephant, with her being the former and Fan being the latter. Qin Shanhai, Qin Xiu's father, then asks her if she told anyone else about Fan's dragon. However, Qin reveals that she made a promise to Fan not to tell anyone about it. Judging by his questions, Qin believes that Shanhai might have intentions of getting his hands on Fan's dragon and asks him if that is so. But Shanhai refuses any claim she makes, mentioning that he is not that kind of person. Shanhai then asks Qin to bring a purple tongue card the day after and personally go meet with Fan to thank him for earlier. She then questions her father if he is not willing to tag along with her, who then reveals that he already has plans for the next day. The following morning, a young pretty girl along with her subordinate is walking toward Han's bun shop. Han goes ahead and receives the two and asks them as to who they are. The subordinate then tells Han that the princess has come to meet with someone and asks if she knows anyone by the name of Lu Fan. Meanwhile, Fan overhears this conversation and wonders if they are looking for him. He then approaches Han and asks her if everything is okay. The subordinate then introduces the girl as Princess Jinju from Taizi Kingdom and introduces himself as her attendant, Chui Hongtai. He explains that they have come here to give Lu Fan a breakthrough opportunity. Chui then goes ahead and opens up a case in which lies a dragon egg. Jinju then tells Fan that he can have this dragon egg, and in return, all he has to do is to become her slave and do whatever she asks him to. Chui reveals that this is the only dragon egg available as of now, and Jinju notices that Fan is left speechless. But she understands that it is because of the fact that he has seen something extraordinary. Meanwhile, Fan discovers that the dragon egg is from a land dragon, which is very low in rank. The only thing worthy of this dragon is its endurance, but one can only do much with it. Meanwhile, Han is disgusted with the behavior of the two, but Fan assures her that he will take care of this. Jinju then explains that dragon tamers are completely useless without a dragon and asks Fan to think about the glory and the fame that he will have after becoming the stronger occupant of a profession. Lu Fan agrees that the feeling will be exciting, but refuses the offer. He then tells her that if she came all the way here just to give him a useless offer, then she should leave. Seeing his arrogant behavior with the princess infuriates Chui greatly, who then asks Fan to behave himself. Lu Fan then explains that he sees himself becoming Jinizu's servant as a joke. This leads Jinju to order Chui to deal with Fan and to show him his place. Meanwhile, Han appears forward and asks them not to escalate the situation anymore and stop being angry. However, Chui gets an adrenaline rush, slaps Han out of the way, and makes his way to Fan. He then quickly checks up on Han to see if she is okay. Lu Fan then helps Han get up and asks her to not rush, as she will be dizzy. Meanwhile, Chui decides to go all in, but Fan is already angered with what Chui just did. He takes his sword just in front of Chui's face and reminds him that he just hurt his family for which he has to pay now. Chui suddenly backs off, revealing to Jinju that there is something seriously wrong with Lu Fan. Moreover, Fan tells Jinju to shut her nasty mouth and explains that he doesn't care what country's princess she is and proceeds to brutally slap her. This infuriates Chui even further, who then charges at Fan after seeing him dare to hurt the princess. However, without much effort, Fan stands still and brutally slaps Chui, knocking him back. Chui then checks up on Jinju to see if she is fine, but receives a slap in response from her. Jinju tells Chui to kill Fan and explains that she doesn't care anymore if they find another dragon tamer or not. What she wants is for Lu Fan dead at all costs now. Meanwhile, Qin is trying to get in contact with Fan, but is getting no response from him. However, she is outside his home place, and suddenly the two, Fan and Chui, burst out of the bun shop. She sees that a fierce fight is taking place. Meanwhile, Chui tells Jinju that he is incompetent in front of Fan and explains that he cannot fight him. Seeing him backing off, Jinju decides to take the matter into her own hands and uses her witch magic. She ends up transforming Chui into a formidable monster, one that seems unable to be stopped. It is at this moment that Fan realizes that Jinju has the exact opposite powers as Qin and also is the holder of a hidden profession. Thereafter, Qin appears forward and tells Fan that she will help her take care of this situation. However, Fan advises her to go and protect his aunt who is in danger and explains that this fight can be harmful to her. Qin agrees, and this enables Fan to fully focus on Chui. He then realizes that he cannot take the monster on his own and that he needs external support. So he goes ahead and summons Xiaoyi. Lu Fan tells the two that it is now his turn to take action, as he has been staying on the back foot so far and watching things unfold against him. Meanwhile, Jinju sees that this is a real dragon and realizes that Fan is someone to be taken seriously as an opponent. Upon closer inspection, Hongtai observes that the powerful dragon is staring directly at him. To charge her wand, Princess Jinju uses a skill that involves waving her spell. This particular dragon is a black dragon with a self-healing capacity increased by 500%, immunity to all debuffs, and a reduction in damage taken by 50%. Since Princess Jinju's charging ability has no effect on the dragon, it becomes even more enraged. Hongtai, still ensnared by the dragon's claws, writhes in agony and begs the dragon to let him go multiple times. When the dragon suddenly shocks Hongtai, he falls next to the girl. Afterwards, Hong Tai explains to Princess Jinju that he is unable to kill the dragon and asks her to forgive him for his failure. He informs Princess Jinju that the dragon's power originates from a significantly larger dragon and that the Jin family possesses dragon eggs, indicating that there are more dragons in the vicinity. Hearing this, Princess Jinju is taken aback and terrified, collapsing to the ground. Lu Fan makes his way to Princess Jinju in a slow and deliberate manner. He addresses her, informing her that she has been enraged towards him and wants to kill him. As Lu Fan gets closer, Princess Jinju becomes increasingly terrified, believing that he will attack her as well. She instructs Lu Fan to stay away, warning him that if he strikes Princess Jinju of the Taichi Kingdom, it would not only be disastrous, but also extremely dangerous. In response to Princess Jinju's threats, Lu Fan becomes enraged and tells her that just because she is Princess Jinju does not mean she is unbeatable. Suddenly, someone flying on a Gerudo appears. It turns out to be Qin Shio's father. When Qin Shio's father yells at the black dragon to stop throwing a fireball at the lady, the dragon appears to hesitate. Just in the nick of time, Lu Fan manages to convince the dragon to stop, thereby saving Qin Shio's father. When they arrive, Qin Shio's father approaches Lu Fan and informs him that the dragon is exerting excessive pressure on them and that they ought to return it. Qin Shio begs Lu Fan to obey their instructions and believe what they have to say. When Lu Fan finally gets around to it, he tells the black dragon to leave. After that, everyone approaches Princess Jinju in unison. Qin Shio's father reassures his daughter, stating that he has already arrived at the airport to pick her up and was not anticipating seeing her in such a precarious condition. He tells her that the driver for the Jin family will take her to the hospital. He is aware of the situation. While Qin Shio and Lu Fan are making their way toward the house, they wonder whether Qin Shio's father knew Princess Jinju or if he is simply pretending to be able to solve the problem. Lu Fan has some reservations, but ultimately decides to follow their instructions. As soon as Qin Shio's father returns, he acknowledges the complexity of the situation and offers his assistance. However, he demands that Lu Fan collaborate with him. He suggests putting Princess Jinju on hold until Lu Fan accomplishes the goal of becoming the champion of the South Province and passing the expressions test. For their protection, this would be helpful. Lu Fan is willing to comply with the condition because he is aware of its significance. As she wanders around the hospital, Princess Jinju, still in a state of rage, inquires about the circumstances surrounding Lu Fan's arrest. The officials in the area attempt to calm her down, but she is so angry that she does not care because she is upset that Qin Shio appears to be on Lu Fan's side. She guarantees that she will eliminate Lu Fan. The next day, individuals from many schools gather on the playground of the 3rd secondary school to take the significant examination. Students discuss the process of forming teams and are impressed by the abilities of their fellow classmates. Everyone immediately recognizes Lu Fan as soon as he walks in, and they all look around, wondering what he is doing there. Lu Fan expresses his desire to avoid a disagreement. When the headmaster arrives, he immediately calls everyone to order and informs them that the beginning of the grand test for the Southern Province is just around the corner. Lu Fan's level has been raised to 15, but he hasn't used the daily prize map yet. He is still an intermediate, even though he is getting better. When the teacher walks in, she talks to Lu Fan about the big test he is about to take, which changes the scene. Lu Fan answers confidently, saying that he will be there because his health has recently been getting better. The teacher praises Lu Fan's hard work and gives him a teleportation stone while explaining what it can do. When used in the trial's secret realm, this rare item will take him to the 1st floor of Heaven's Tower. When used in Heaven's Tower, it will take him to the trial's secret realm platform. The teacher stresses the importance of being careful, saying that any mistake on the test could cause harm or death. To ensure Lu Fan doesn't make things too hard for himself, she advises him to work with friends or use the teleportation stone to escape if needed. Lu Fan agrees, understanding the importance of the teacher's advice. 2 boys nearby are whispering to each other, which makes Lu Fan think about his plan. Lu Fan decides to take the test by himself because he wants to get the best score possible instead of just passing. Qin Shio then walks up to Lu Fan with a girl beside her. Qin Shio introduces her as Xiaoman, saying that Xiaoman is very strong and the best at fighting and fencing. Qin Shio asks Lu Fan to join them in the trials, even though it's clear that she is shy. When Xiaoman sees Qin Shio talking to Lu Fan, she makes a strange face. However, Lu Fan politely refuses, saying that he plans to go alone and is determined to keep a promise to himself. After saying goodbye, Lu Fan leaves for the test site, leaving Qin Xiao looking a little sad. Xiaoman questions her friend's choice to bring Lu Fan, who is seen as not very good at their job, after seeing Qin Xiao's face. Qin Xiao, on the other hand, says Lu Fan is very strong and believes he will score the most points in the South Province. The story then moves on to the test site in Zhanghai City, located in the South Province. The students have already gathered and are talking about the test. The organizer addresses the candidates, explaining that the Sky Portal is split into 4 levels: normal, tough, fear, and nightmare. To enter the Heavenly Tower, candidates must use the transportation stone. The general level of the tower is unknown and does not pose further harm. The organizer mentions that as the stages get harder, real monsters show up, making the test more difficult and dangerous. The 2 girls Lu Fan had spoken to before warn him about the fear level, where Rakshas are especially mean and disobedient. They advise against solo tasks and stress the importance of prioritizing life over scoring. Despite their warnings, Lu Fan remains determined and promises to get the best score, cockily asserting that he is ready and fully prepared. At this point in the story, Hongwu, a tough middle school student who aspires to be the best, is introduced. The other students, including the 2 girls, are nervous around Hongwu because he is known for his diverse fighting styles. Knowing they can't compete with him directly, they decide to aim for a lower rank, recognizing his strength. In the director's office, the middle school principal tells Hongwu that he believes he will do well, calling him the most impressive student. The principal, who tamed the dragon, sees Lu Fan's potential and thinks he might have done even better with a different hidden calling. However, the middle school director is confident that Lu Fan is a strong candidate for the top position. Others are skeptical, but the middle school director insists he has faith in Lu Fan's skills. Lu Fan uses the portal to get to the first floor of the nightmare level, where he encounters a terrifying scene with scary plants. Sensing trouble, he quickly pulls out his dragon sword. Suddenly, wolves appear, bigger and scarier than usual, with huge teeth. Lu Fan uses his quick reactions and skill in battle, employing his Dragon Kai technique. He strikes all the wolves hard, killing them all at once. The system informs him that he completed the first floor of the Nightmare trial smoothly, giving him a score of 990. Back at the office, people are amazed by Lu Fan's accomplishment. They have a hard time believing what they see, as Lu Fan's achievement goes against all predictions. Hongwu is on the 4th floor with 3,000 points, Lu Fan is on the 1st floor with 990 points, Qin Xiao is on the 3rd floor with 900 points, and Xiaoman is also on the 3rd floor with 900 points. Initially skeptical, the leaders now see that Lu Fan's skills are much greater than they had thought. Chapter 14. Later, we have Lu Fan shocking everyone by quickly killing a pack of dangerous wolves with his weapon. As the scene plays out, a mystery person dressed as a detective walks into the inspection room. The principal's attention is drawn to this person, Qin Xiong, who is Longdo's special representative. He introduces himself and says that he is here to get someone for testing. The principal looks back at Qin Xiong and is surprised and wary. Qin Xiong then takes off his hat and asks to meet Dragon Tamer Lu Fan in a serious way. At the same time, the window shows that he is a level 57 swordsman. At another front, Lu Fan is seen cutting tree branches with skill to make a way forward. He looks in the system window and finds what he is looking for. This makes him very happy. An advanced treasure map that Lu Fan made before going into the secret test area, which is on the 1st floor of the staircase tower, shows him where the wealth is. He starts cutting down evil plants and finally finds a book called Growth Acceleration. The system says this bright book with gems inside is a rare skill book that can teach the user how to quickly block attacks without doing anything. Lu Fan feels a strong force around him as he tries to open the book, and he knows he has mastered the skill. That morning, Xiao was moving very slowly, but it would get faster soon. At the same time, directors by Shanghai and Qin Xiong watch everything on the screen from a different room. Qin Xiong tells director to stop the test right away and tell the student to come back. But the principal won't give in and says that the student has to take the college entrance test, even if there is an emergency. Qin Xiong is angry and asks the director if he can take the student's punishment on their behalf. Suddenly, Shanghai steps in and grabs Qin Xiong's arm, setting off a tense battle. Qin Xiong walks up to an old friend with narrowed eyes and demands to know what the Dragon Lord has done. Shanghai tells him over and over again not to get in the way of his goal, implying that the senior officials have a lot of power and that the Longdu and the Jin family have complicated relationships. In the middle of this fight, Lu Fan keeps going on his trip. He gets to a door after killing more evil plants. His amazing stats can be seen in the system window. Fitness 103, Soul 141, and Star Power 10. A fireball emerges as he moves his hand, which makes him call Xiao. Now that they are back in the inspection room, Qin Xiong is still asking the director about what makes Lu Fan special. The teacher tells Ken that he hasn't seen Lu Fan's real skills yet. All of a sudden, Lu Fan tells Xiao to come out, and the headmaster and Qin Xiong King are both shocked when the dragon shows up. The headmaster is scared now that he knows Lu Fan has really tamed a dragon, which makes him very strong. The dragon uses fire to attack the evil plants around it, killing them up to level 2. The headmaster agrees that the dragon tamer, Lu Fan, is very strong and says that anything below level 3 can't beat them. Lu Fan and the dragon keep going on their test. They face a lot of dangerous animals, but they kill them all quickly and reach level 3. The principal is impressed as he watches the screen and sees that Lu Fan's strength has grown even without calling on the dragon. Shanghai talks to Qin Xiong King and asks him if he still wants to promote Lu Fan to greater control. Now that Qin Xiong knows better, he chooses to send a video of Lu Fan's test to the teacher, even though he knows how bad it is to upset such a powerful being. And finally, Lu Fan and the dragon get to level 20, where they meet troops and a goddess holding a bright sphere. The system tells us that she is the priestess of darkness and that she can protect and improve her friends. When Lu Fan tells the dragon to attack, it shoots out a huge fireball that keeps doing damage. The system shows that Star 20 has been defeated and the Black Dragon's level has gone up. With a firm resolve, Lu Fan tells the dragon to settle things in the tower. After an intense hour of the fear test, there is a terrible blast at the top of the mountain that leaves the main character badly hurt and tired. Even though he is tired, he keeps fighting monsters for hours and finally beats them. He sees a system window telling him that he has completed level 50. While standing on a rock, he thinks about his success, how hard this year's exam is, and how bad his luck has been. He starts to feel good about himself and thinks he will be the South Province's valedictorian. At the test center, the instructor watches all the students, but Lu Fan is the center of attention for everyone. The officer says that the Heaven Straight Tower is a big problem for people in the South Province who try to do too much. Yes, Lu Fan will pass, but it won't be easy. Lu stands with his dragon on the snowy mountain, getting ready for the level 50 test. A system window tells him that he now has a new skill because he was promoted. Lu Fan could change into 4 different animals at first, starting with a huge dragon. The first transformation, Young Dragon, cuts 50% off of your traits and energy use. The second, Dragon Woman, can only be used after making a deal with the Dragon Tamer. This deal lowers her power to 0, raises her spiritual energy, and gives her a new skill, burning everything and releasing lava. The ground starts to shake all of a sudden, and Lu Fan knows that something bad is about to happen. A crystal called Mountain Giant Purple Crystal, level 20, is drawing his attention to a rock. This crystal can destroy things. Its mountain arm can wipe out all targets in front of it, doing a lot of damage, and its mountain fall can do even more damage. It can also protect you by lowering magical damage and making armor-piercing powers less effective. The director is shocked and doesn't know how Lu Fan will handle these problems. The director of the middle school notices that Lu Fan will be taking a lot longer to climb the tower now. Even so, Lu Fan is in first place with 32 million points, as shown on the scoreboard. People in Shanghai City know that Lu Fan is likely to be the best. At the same time, a monster at level 50 in the horror trial looks at Lu Fan and roars. The monster turns out to be the crystal. Lu frowns as he realizes that the damage reduction effect has been lost. He knows that they have reached the middle of the Heavenly Straight Tower and that the difficulty has gone up. Lu Fan is sure of what to do and smiles. The demon swings its fist at the dragon, but the dragon stops it. Lu Fan then tells the dragons to use the power called World Destroyer. The dragon roars and changes into the World Destroyer. A red energy field surrounds it. The dragon starts to push the monster back because it wants to fight. The headmaster is shocked by this show. Lu Fan then changes into a dark dragon, a strong form with more power and black skin. Lu Fan fully changes into a dark dragon and destroyer as the monster gets closer. His strength goes up, but his endurance goes down. Teachers in middle schools are shocked and wonder what the benefits of this change are. Lu Fan was distracted for a moment, and the monster attacked. Lu Fan absorbs the blow and avoids it. Lu Fan then uses a skill called Dragon Expression, which makes all of his and his dragon's abilities and attack power 30% stronger. Lu Fan calls Xiao and his power, energy, speed, and endurance all get better. He tells Xiao to use the Mighty Jaw skill, which cuts the enemy into pieces and makes them bleed all the time. The dragon's jaws break the monster in an instant. The director is shocked to hear that the level 20 boss is so easy to beat. He says that the blow's power is more than 2,000 points, which means it can break through Violet Crystal Mountain Joint's protection. The monster gets its body back and attacks, but Lu Fan gets away from it. Using a skill called Dragon's Claw, Lu Fan sends out a strong attack that breaks the monster into pieces. Everyone is amazed by how good Lu Fan is. Shanghai tells the professor that it's smart not to take Lu Fan lightly. When a new demon shows up and tries to attack Lu Fan, Xiao uses the Destructive Roar skill to do a lot of damage and make the demon weak. Lu Fan tells Xiao to attack, which makes the ground crack and the monster fall. He is getting ready for the final hit. The breaking of the earth is the name of the power that is used. Lu Fan is standing next to Xiao and has been told that the Dark Dragon's level has been raised. It seems like Lu Fan made the right choice by leveling up. As long as he keeps leveling up, he can handle the game. Lu Fan and his dragon move toward the gate once they reach level 50. Shanghai puts out his cigarette in the office and says that Lu Fan didn't find level 50 hard, even though some people thought it was hard. When Mr. Qian sees this, he thinks that the dragon's power must have gone up by at least 2,500 points. The middle school director is shocked because they feel like their level and area of expertise are no longer important. He closes his eyes because he knows that as Lu Fan goes on, the pattern of problems will become clearer. The director looks at the TV and says that the way the test is set up, with a boss to face after each set of levels, is like a real field with constant risks. It is up to the boss to decide how hard Heaven Straight Tower was.